Welcome to Rewatch and Rank. On this channel, we rewatch older TV shows, provide a summary and opinion on the episode before ranking each episode against each other, and today's episode is Death Note Part 2, Episode 34, Vigilance. Episode in a nutshell is a brief summary of the episode. So basically in this episode, we have Light and Kiyomi continuing to meet and pass notes. However, unbeknownst to Light, Aizawa scratched the notepads in the room and realizes that two of them have been replaced, confirming that Light and Kiyomi are passing notes. Upon discovering this, Aizawa goes to Nier and basically says, Nier, I completely agree, Light is definitely Kira. And Nier basically says, okay, keep an eye on him, but you're out of the game. This is now between me and Light. I'm closing in. We then have Nier bringing Misa into the SPK alongside Mogi, who agrees to go in. And Light's basically left with being unable to do anything because Mogi agreed to bring Misa in with the SPK. We then have Mikami, who is still unaware of the fact that he is being stalked by the SPK, and so they follow him to his gym, which is his regular routine because he's a creature of habit, which is very relatable. And as a result of that, while he's working out in the gym, his locker is broken into, his briefcase is broken into, the note is brought out, images are taken of the note, which is able to match handwriting from his previous prosecution notes to the notebook, all of the names that he has written in it. And Nier decides that because the Yotsuba experiments only allowed you to control a person 23 days before their death, if the person who broke into the locker is still alive in 24 days, he's going to assume that Kira was unaware of the locker being broken into, and that is when he's going to make his move to end the game. And that is where this episode ends. So now that we have the summary of the episode, we'll now rank the episode. As always, we're ranking on our mostly objective ranking list, followed by the personal ranking list. Oops, I moved that a little quick. Oh well. So this episode, only one is highlighted. However, this one counts times 3. So we have our multi-arc supporting character development, and we of course have Aizawa discovering the passing notes, which allows him to visit Nier, and he is the first to see Nier's real face of the Japanese task force. But Nier then tells him that he's out of the battle and he's just going to be observing Light from now on. We then have Misa, who is taken by the SPK. Oh, sorry, I lied. Misa is taken by the SPK. Nier is only a single arc main character, but Nier gets a hold of Mikami's notebook to match the handwriting, and that is worth 2 points. So that's 8 points total for this episode as far as the development, and there were no negative points. So that now brings our part 2 rankings so far to in first, Selection, second, Vigilance, which is this episode, then Justice, Father, Transfer, Abduction, Impatience, and Scorn in 8th. So my personal opinion of this episode is that it is the best episode so far. We have everything coming to a head. We have Aizawa being sure it's Light. We have Misa taken out of the game. We have Kiyomi and Mikami being known to be helping Light as agents of Kira. And once again, I still feel that it's too easy for Nier, and it is a bit unfair, but I did find that the building tension of plans coming together and them finding their evidence and everything being found out and Light about to be set up and him seemingly not fully aware that he is not really a player in the game anymore, even because Nier basically has already won. He's just waiting to make the final move. Light's in check, and soon it's going to be checkmate. I enjoyed it. I liked the building of the tension, but nothing like really stood out to me. And that's why, even though I still think it is the best so far, I still haven't rated it higher than any other episode. It is a 7 out of 10. And that brings our part 2 ranking so far to in first, vigilance, father, selection, justice, transfer, abduction, scorn, and then in 8th we have impatience. So now we come to our series ranking so far, and I'm sorry that this episode was so short, but again, for all that it's like a 20-minute episode, they spend a lot of time on talking, so the actual like what happened is very point to form, and therefore short. Anyways, having said that, series ranking so far. Mostly objective ranking is for part 1 was 70.77%, part 2 was 37 out of 110 so far, personal ranking was 60.38%, and part 2 is 35 out of 110. So with that, we've now rewatched and ranked Death Note Part 2, Episode 34, Vigilance. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see you in the next episode.